favourite place of mine. Didn't get to fish here last time because somebody was here. Let's have a go. Got a single maggot on the hook this time. So I think maybe they're getting a bit spooky. Might even drop down to an even smaller hook than that if I can. If I can feel my fingers. Let's have a little trot along there. Keep it fairly close to the edge. See what happens. For these sections here, a longer rod is helpful. 13-footer is always helpful because there's no trees above you. That means you get more control over the float out in the middle there. However, I'm going to aim to move into some of the more jungly spots a little bit later, so I've got the short rod. It's proving to be a bit of a liability at the moment on these big sections, wider sections. When we get into the trees, quite exposed here, so I'm going to move on. Going to try this spot. As you can see, it's a bit of cover. Might be fish under that tree. Gone back to 2 on the hook because it could be perch under there, could be chub, and they're greedy little buggers, so put 2 on hook might entice them. Let's get over there first. Let's just glide it along. Have a little go. See if there's any interest. Could be very snaggy under the water, of course. I don't know this yet. Nice bit of flow there though. Try and get a bit closer to that tree next time. Let's let it go down the flow. Oops, hang on. Line wrap. Not a good idea. Shit. Uh-oh. Centre pin troubles. There we go. There we go. Alright, screwed that up. Let's have another go. Get closer to that tree now. That's a little bit closer. Oh, freezing fingers. Oh. I like to look at that pile of rubbish down there it's gathered. That used to be a good roach spot, but I don't think I'll be able to get past that rubbish today. Okay, that's enough of that. Oh, damn it. Didn't want that to happen. Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble. Bugger. This is where I might have to change my hook. There we go. God damn it. I tell you what, people. £5 line. Still got my hook back. Good old Drennan £5 float line. Absolutely built like a battleship. Not bad going at all. Wanted no bait on there anyway. Let's try a single maggot this time. Not to throw in that many. There we go. Literally 4 maggots went in there. I know I said I wasn't going to throw any more in, but see what happens. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. spot on. There we go, right there. That's it. There we go. Wow, that is dragging the bottom. Okay, maybe that was a bit too deep. That's better. Yeah, it's hugging the bottom. You can see my breath there, that's how cold it is. Well, that was pleasant enough, let's move on. Yes, it's that cold. Got my gloves on. Fingers are still frozen though. Here's another good little perch spot that I remember. I have to go down the bank a little way because I don't know if my rod's going to reach that far. At least we'll be close to the bank. Quite deep if I remember. Which is why I thought I'd give it a go. I do recall seeing some good perch and roach down here, and of course that was in summer, so who knows. Let's see how I can try to float with these gloves on. Turn the camera around so you can see. Let's get that float on the water. Anything in there at all? I think that's the bottom. Yep, yeah, that's the bottom. Maybe not that deep then. Shut it up a little bit. Right there, I reckon. We can actually see the float go down here this time. It's going to disappear behind that tree. I think we found the bottom again. Yeah, maybe not. That wind's being too difficult today. Maybe I'd have been better off ledgering, you might think. Maybe. But at least with float fishing, you get to cover a bit more ground. Whereas with ledgering, you're kind of putting it in one place and seeing what happens. Somebody's already fished this because there's a purpose-made rod rest. Now that looks chubby to me. It's okay for me to stand up because I've got trees behind me, so I'm not standing out against the sky or anything. Snag. Shit. That one good. Ah. Oh, come on. What the hell? Oh, what am I doing? Caught that on camera, didn't I? Fucking hell. What am I doing? There we go. Well, that's how you get into a right old state. Oi, oi, oi. Ah, sliding down the bank as well. Bloody hell. There you go, outtakes for you. Truth almighty. It's true, I must be crazy to be out today. you've got to be in it to win it. Yeah, I can't feel my fingers anymore. Let's give some freebies and see what happens. Don't actually know if there's any fish in here today, but there's got to be somewhere. They all live in here. Well, if I don't catch any fish, at least I kept everyone entertained by making a prat of myself. Oh dear, what fun we have. What fun we have indeed. Go on, down you go. Yet again, spending far too long in one spot. Should have moved on by now. Gonna get beyond that snag. I know, let's move on. Gotta keep the camera running, because I'm only gonna go up there, the other side of this tree. Just to have a little look in here. Do this camera up. So, how do I drop it in? Let's have about there. Have a little look. It's Jack in the box. Since the water's very clear today, it's not that clear, but shouldn't be standing up really, to be honest. Actually got a nice trot going on here. I might stick with it, just to let the float water a bit. Well, now I'm catching on camera what a difficult day looks like. And this is it. This is nothing today. We're going to catch. Still, it's nice to be out. Usually, of course, we do very well on this river. Actually spoilt for a big roach, chub, perch, dace on the further sections up, which I think I might go to in a minute just to try and catch something. Anything. Let's go a bit deeper. There's pike on here. There's even carp in here somewhere. None of which are present today. They're all hiding. I guess that's what you get when you go fishing. When they forecast a polar vortex from the Arctic. Bit of an exaggeration, but it is pretty nippy. Pretty deep little section this. But alas, time to move on again. Another little section to try. A little bit further up from where I was before, but there's a tree here, so might get lucky. Might be someone living under there. Just guide this float around this log here. Well, moving on again. Doing well at this moving on like. Right. So, there's the snow. What was left over from last night. So I'm not lying about the snow. Did have a bit of snow. Not much. Cold enough for snow though. Anyway, let's have a little look at this section here. Might be able to get a nice glide along here. I've nearly caught, well I did, catch some decent roach from here. Plenty of structure, so let's see if it's good for perch. It's good for snags, so I just caught one. Let's just put it in there, there you go. Try and catch the flow a bit. Crouch down here because there's not much cover around me. Let's have another little go. Now, I did bring bread with me, but I don't think it would be too successful today. If I was catching something on maggots, then I might switch to bread to see if I can catch something bigger. But yeah, so far I've not even had a bite. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Hibernation time for these fellas. Anyway, let's move on again. Let's go to the other side of that tree. Keep the camera running because it's only a little short hop up here. Back over the snow. To be honest, the snow, we was only going to get a centimetre, if that. Could have a look in there. I'm not going to swing the rod around in there. Keep walking. Getting into the wider open section here, so might be a bit of a problem with this rod. Let's just have a go. This swim here looks alright. Bit of a reach, but gotta have a go, I suppose, in here. It's quite nice and deep. Let's add some depth. Maggots are looking alright. Let's have a go. Keep adding a bit more depth each cast. As I can't see the float for very long along here, so it's going to be a very short trot. Nope. Moving on. Yep, I'm crazy. Yep, I'm crazy. Nothing so far. I know, it might be further up, not down here. Whoops. Moving on. I'm gonna forget all this lot because, first of all, you can't get to it. Not with this little rod anyway. Secondly, I don't know if you can see that, it's well clogged up today. Usually is. Not particularly good for fishing. This section, however, nice and wide open, but I can't fish this because of the rod, but I can over here. This spot, during closed season, one year I did see a gigantic perch down here, probably long dead by now, but let's have a little cast in and see what happens. There's always a possibility of catching something, even if it's just a cold. So, caution to the wind, get your bait out there and see what happens. Depth like the last section had. So, let's see. But just a bite would be nice. It's not happening at the minute. I'm just going to leave the float there for a moment. Put the rod down. Just while I'm doing that, just throw a couple of maggots in there. Just in there, that's it. No more than that. See if anyone comes out to grab them. See any movement down there? See any movement at all from here? Give it a little bit of agitation. Sometimes that works for perch. Yeah, I think we're too shallow there. Too deep, sorry. Lose a bit of depth. Try again. That's about the right depth for the edge. Definitely shallows up a bit there. Maybe. Just fucking stuck on the edge again. God's sake. Oh dear. I shall show you my calamities later on film. Here we go. There we go. Problems of wearing gloves. Oh dear, what am I doing? Slightly mad. Don't know if I'm going to be able to reach far across enough. Right over there. Trotting into that area is good, but not from this side. So let's move over. There's nothing over this side. Nothing that I've seen. No sign of movement. Let's go try here. Have another go, son. Past that bank of weeds. there is a tree and a narrowing. So what I'm going to do is walk it. It's the beauty of a centre pin. So you can just pick the line up and walk with it by doing that. Get to this section, there's a good place to stop, get real close to it. This is often where we find shoals of roach, so let the line take up the slack, let the flow take it. Snag. Is it going to pass through? Yeah, that'll pass through. Often there are shoals of perch down here because in the summer you'll see them in the clear water, sort of clinging close to the tree. So I'm hopeful, as ever. Do need to change the depth though and get stuck on another fucking tree. Fuck's sake. Excuse my effing and jeffing. Well, that went wrong again, didn't it? Oh boy. Right. So, depth down a little bit. Put a fresh maggot on in any case. What's the time? So a couple of hours left yet. I am going to go down the road a bit to a different spot soon. Right here. Just because I caught those nice big roach in summertime. And that kind of sticks in the memory, to be honest. I'll get rid of that one, I got splattered. They kind of stick in the memory a bit. They're a pretty big roach, so, and I did catch them on alleged bread, so in the winter you would have thought they'd be rather partial to a maggot or two. A little bit of bait down there. Of course, in winter, keeping moving like I am is the way to go. Otherwise, you run the risk of freezing to bloody death. Sat there on the bank being still, which is why ledgering isn't my thing at this time of year. I like to play with a float, even if it's not the best method. Often it gives you the results that you need or wanted. And if you don't catch anything, at least you're moving. The next best thing to chucking lures, I suppose. As you can see in this river, there's not much room to chuck lures around. You have to excuse the sniffing. It is pretty chilled. I'm going to go the other side of that tree because there's not much room to play with down there. The other side of this tree, there's another tree on the other side of it, so as you can see, plenty of snags down here, and where there's snags you might find fish. And as we're going back out in the depths again, back out into the middle, I'm going to add a bit more depth. take it the other side of this tree and see what happens. Historically I've caught some good roach here. As with this river, they could have been cooked and eaten by someone by now. So, forgive me if I keep the river a secret, that's why. Oh bloody hell, what am I doing? I've got in the right fucking tangle again. Oh bloody hell. Whoa dude, what the hell? Shit. Yeah, cold hands and centre pins. Anyway, probably screwed that section up anyway, so moving on again. Don't worry, I'll edit this into a highlights video so you don't have to watch all of this and get bored. Because it will be quite long. I'm going to have a quick go down here. I don't expect to catch anything. As with the rest of the river. There could be some good fish down here if I can get close to the river, because you can see plenty of weed absolutely everywhere with loads of footprints on. Hang on, let's have a look. Can I walk on this? Oh, I'm actually standing on the river there. Yeah, no, best not. I ain't got my waders on. Yeah. Okay, bring me waders next time. Can't usually access that during the summer because it's, as you can see, weeds everywhere. They die back in the winter, so you've got a chance to get on them. But since I've only got my boots on and not my waders, I don't fancy wading out there in this freezing weather. So, I've got to find a swim that's actually close to the bank. Really little cutouts. I know just the place. Hopefully somebody's not fishing in it. As you can see, it's very open and pretty windy now, so I don't like my chances. Here, if you remember my video roach back in summer, look at that. They're back. Let's find him and release him. Let's get the line off of you. Look at that. That's a beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. Let's put you back. Let's compose myself. Hi. Let's put you back. Got another one. Massive. Well, big. Look at that fella. Look at the size of this one. Wowzers. I'm going to weigh him. I'll let you know how much he weighs in just a moment. Let me put him back in the water just for a moment. This is where I caught the roach. However, they were over that far bank and I legged. Actually after the perch that were chasing them. Because they were quite big roach. And those perch were even bigger. So, here we are. Now let's see, shall we? May have to talk a little bit quieter at times because people walk past behind me and they can't see the camera, so they think I'm a little crazy talking to myself. So Bear with me. It's not looking good today, is it? Not at all. That's too deep. Okay, let's go shallow and aim for these near bushes, reeds. Could well be fish hiding out there, close to the weeds. Who knows? Let's give it a couple of minutes and then I'll move on. Probably pack the rod away and move to this other spot because it's better than this in winter anyway. Lots of ifs and buts. Of course it could be that it's just bloody freezing cold and nobody's interested today. I think that's the likeliest scenario, to be fair. Well, the GoPro died, so I'm having to go on my phone. Hi, I'm at here, this place. You'll probably know where I am. I thought I'd have a go at Chub. This is my favourite Chub spot, but as you can see, I don't know if you can see on the phone, the water is absolutely clear as a bell, quite low, so I'm really asking a lot. Put in a few maggots, trickled them in downstream, and I'll have a go at fishing. Who knows, I might catch something. Probably won't, but who knows. Anyway, I just thought I'd use my phone because my GoPro died. So I thought I'd just have a go just to see if I can complete a video or anything like that. So if I set my phone up somehow, I don't know how. Let's see how we do. Well, as if to prove there are actual fish here in the middle of the freezing winter. There's a fish. It's only a tiddler, but it saves a blank for the day. Where is he? That is the tiniest little chub that I've ever caught. But he saved me today from a blank. Just along this shallowest of water. So perhaps I'll aim for the shallow water now on. It gives me hope. There might be a few more in here. Beats freezing to death on a cold day. I'll show you a picture soon. Looks like I'm in on the roach as well. Hopefully they'll get bigger. He's not a bad little size. Nice.
With a grin, and in the whirlwind, the pea breeze is holding it down for Alp's crew. Yeah, it be none other. Time to smother and stifle all competition. Who stand in our way of us completing our mission? Every day of the year's a big hustle, so let's tussle. Jump on my love muscle, cause my verbal's penetrating. Location of stress, you can keep it, I don't need it. Son, you've been depleted, so peep it, no explanation. Nowhere to run, nowhere to linger, point the finger.